The unexpected legacy. Elena Vasquez wiped grease from her hands as the notification chimed on her workstation. She had been elbow deep in the engine housing of a new cargo hauler. The kind of honest work that kept Earth's orbital shipyards running. Smoothly, the message icon blinked with unusual urgency, displaying the seal of the Interstellar Legal Registry. Probably another safety compliance update, she muttered, but her heart skipped when she saw the subject line. Estate transfer, notification, Korvax Thane, deceased. Elena's breath caught. Korvax had been more than just her mother's second husband. When Elena was 12 and her father died in a transport accident, the gentle Zephyrian engineer had stepped into their lives like a warm breeze. He never tried to replace her father, but he taught her to see the universe as a place full of wonders waiting to be understood. His 6 arms could work on 6 different systems at once, and his patience with a curious human child had been infinite. The legal document unfolded in holographic text before her. Korvax had died 3 weeks ago in what the report called a mining accident at his deep space operation. Elena felt tears she didn't know she'd been holding back, but the next line made her sit down hard on her tool bench. Primary beneficiary, Elena Maria Vasquez. Inherited assets, Ember's Edge, Mining Station, Helios Belt, Sector 447, value 2.3 million credits. Special condition, personal retrieval required within 7 standard days. Elena stared at the numbers. Korvax had always lived modestly when he visited Earth. She'd known he worked in deep space mining, but she'd never imagined he owned an entire operation. The condition puzzled her too. Why require personal retrieval? Most inheritance transfers happened through legal proxies. Her supervisor, Marcus Chen, appeared at her shoulder. Bad news, Vasquez. The opposite, actually. My stepfather left me a mining station. She gestured at the hologram. I need to request emergency leave. Marcus raised an eyebrow. A whole station, Elena. You sure this isn't some kind of scam? Deep space inheritance fraud is getting sophisticated. Elena pulled up the verification codes. They checked out against the registry's quantum encryption. It's real, Marcus. Korvax Thane was really my stepfather. He used to build me impossible puzzles out of spare engine parts. Well, congratulations then, but be careful out there. The Helios Belt is rough territory. Corporate raiders, asteroid pirates, the works. Marcus paused. You want some advice? Sell it fast and remote. Don't go out there yourself. But Elena was already planning her route. Something in Korvax's final message to the registry had caught her attention. A small notation in script that roughly translated to the inheritance includes wisdom, not just wealth. Korvax never said anything without layers of meaning. 3 days later, Elena sat in the cramped pilot seat of a rented long-range scout ship, watching the asteroid field of the Helios Belt grow from distant specks to tumbling mountains of rock and ice. The rental agent had tried to talk her out of making the journey alone, but Elena preferred to work solo. She understood machines better than most people anyway. Her ship's navigation system chimed as Ember's Edge came into sensor range. Elena's first glimpse of her inheritance took her breath away. The mining station wasn't the crude industrial platform she'd expected. Instead, it looked like a metallic flower blooming from the surface of a massive asteroid. Graceful spires housed processing equipment, while delicate connecting bridges carried conveyor systems that moved like silver streams. Definitely Zephyrian design, Elena murmured. Her stepfather's people built things that worked in harmony with their environment rather than dominating it. As her ship approached the docking port, Alina noticed something odd. The station showed no signs of active mining operations. No ore. Haulers came and went. No processing furnaces glowed with heat. But power readings showed the facility was fully operational. Everything was running, but nothing was being produced. The docking bay accepted her ship with smooth efficiency. As Alina cycled through the airlock, she was surprised to find the station's atmosphere perfectly suited for human habitation. Korvax had always been thoughtful about such details. "Hello," Alina called out as she stepped into what appeared to be the main corridor. Her voice echoed strangely, as if the station were much larger inside than it appeared from outside. "Welcome, Elena Vasquez," said a warm voice from hidden speakers. "I am Aria, the station's automated research intelligence assistant. Programmed me to expect your arrival." Alina relaxed slightly. AI companions were common on remote installations. "Hello, Aria. Can you give me a tour? I'm trying to understand what Korvax was really doing out here." "Of course, but first, Korvax left instructions that you should view his final message immediately. Upon arrival, shall I play it for you?" Alina nodded, and the corridor around her dissolved into a holographic projection of Korvax's private quarters. The Zephyrian engineer sat at his desk, his normally vibrant blue skin looking pale with exhaustion. His 4 eyes held a sadness that made Elena's chest tighten. "My dear Elena," Korvax began, his translator giving his words the warm tone she remembered from childhood. "If you are seeing this message, then my fears have become reality. The Galactic Mining Consortium has discovered my work, and I did not survive their attempts to claim it." Alina felt ice form in her stomach. The GMC was one of the largest corporations in known space. With a reputation for aggressive acquisition of valuable resources and technology, Korvax continued. "What I discovered here, Alina, could change everything. Not just mining, but space travel itself. I found a way to create stable quantum tunnels through space-time using crystalline matrices found only in these asteroids. A single quantum core could power a ship across the galaxy in days rather than years." The hologram gestured, and Alina saw schematics appearing around Korvax's image. The mathematics made her engineer's heart race. If this technology was real, it would revolutionize human expansion into deep space. But the consortium wants to weaponize this discovery, Korvax's image said, his voice heavy with regret. They see quantum tunnels as a way to move battle fleets instantly across space. They offered to buy my research, and when I refused, they began to apply pressure. The mining accident that killed me was no accident at all. Alina clenched her fists. She'd suspected something was wrong about Korvax's death, but she'd assumed it was just the dangerous nature of space mining. "I've hidden the quantum core deep within the station," Korvax continued. "Aria will show you when you're ready. But Alina, you must understand the choice before you. This technology could benefit all species, but only if it remains free from corporate control. I leave this decision to you because I trust your judgment and your human stubborn streak." The hologram smiled, and Alina recognized the expression from 1,000 shared moments of her childhood. "I know you will find a solution I could never imagine. Humans have a gift for seeing possibilities where others see only problems. Whatever you decide, know that I am proud to call you my daughter." The message faded, leaving Alina standing alone in the corridor with Aria's gentle hum in the background. "The quantum core is located in Research Lab 7, Aria said quietly. "Shall I show you?" Alina took a deep breath. "Not yet. First, I want to understand the full situation." Arya, are we being monitored? Has anyone else tried to contact the station? Korvax programmed sophisticated stealth systems. The station appears abandoned to most sensors. However, I have detected 3 GMC survey ships conducting systematic sweeps of the asteroid belt. They appear to be searching for something. Searching for us, Alina said grimly. How long before they find this place? At their current search pattern, approximately 18 hours. Alina felt the familiar calm that came over her when facing a complex engineering problem. She had 18 hours to understand Korvax's discovery, evaluate its implications, and decide what to do about it. The GMC might have killed her stepfather, but they were about to learn that Alina Vasquez didn't give up easily. She followed Arya through corridors that seemed to shift and change as they walked. The station's interior was far more complex than its external appearance suggested, with laboratories and workshops tucked into spaces that shouldn't have existed according to normal geometry. Arya, Alina said as they walked, you seem more sophisticated than a typical automated system. Are you truly artificial, or is there more to you? Korvax designed me using principles he learned from studying quantum consciousness, Arya replied. I am not certain where automation ends and true thought begins. Does this concern you? Alina smiled. Not at all. Some of my best friends are... I'm just glad you're on our side. Research Lab 7 turned out to be a spherical chamber at the heart of the station. In its center, suspended in a web of crystalline supports, hung a device that seemed to bend light around itself. The quantum core was beautiful and terrifying, pulsing with energies that Alina's instruments couldn't fully measure. It's incredible. Alina breathed, running sensor scans from her portable toolkit. The energy output readings don't make sense according to known physics. Korvax spent 3 years learning to stabilize the quantum matrix, Arya explained. He was very proud of his achievement. He said it proved that patience and persistence could solve any problem. Alina studied the readouts, her mind racing through possibilities. The quantum core represented a breakthrough that could benefit all of humanity and their alien allies. But in the wrong hands, it could also become a weapon of unimaginable destruction. Her contemplation was interrupted by Arya's urgent voice. Alina, I'm detecting approaching ships. 3 GMC heavy cruisers, escorted by 6 fighters. They've found us. Alina looked up from her scanner at the quantum core, then back at the labs. Exit's 18 hours had become 18 minutes. The Galactic Mining Consortium had arrived, and they would stop at nothing to claim Korvax's discovery. But Alina Vasquez had inherited more than just a mining station. She'd inherited her stepfather's stubborn determination and her own human gift for finding impossible solutions. The GMC was about to learn what happened when they underestimated both human ingenuity and a daughter's love for her family. Arya, Alina said, pulling out her engineering toolkit, show me everything. It's time to get creative. Asterisk the human solution. The first warning shot blazed past the station's main viewport. A stream of plasma that turned nearby ice crystals into glowing vapor. Alina watched from the command center as the GMC fleet arranged itself in a perfect attack. Formation, their ships dark and predatory against the Ember's Edge station, came a voice over the communication array, cold and professionally menacing. This is Commander Drac of the Galactic Mining Consortium. You are in possession of stolen corporate property. Surrender immediately and prepare. For boarding, Alina keyed the com with steady hands. Commander Drac, this is Alina Vasquez, legal owner of this facility. According to interstellar registry records, you're the ones trespassing here. A harsh laugh crackled through the speakers. Ms. Vasquez, we have documented proof that Corvax Thane stole proprietary technology from GMC research facilities. His death voided any legal protections. Stand down, or we will take the station by force. Alina felt anger burn in her chest, but she kept her voice level. My stepfather never stole anything in his life. If you have legal claims, present them to the registry. The registry is a bureaucratic formality, Drek replied. Possession is the only law that matters out here. You have 5 minutes to evacuate before we begin boarding procedures. The cum went silent. Alina turned to Arya's central console, where the AI's avatar appeared as a shimmering holographic woman with features that somehow suggested both wisdom and worry. Alina, Arya said, the GMC ships carry enough firepower to destroy the station. Completely. Perhaps we should consider negotiation. No, Alina said firmly, pulling up the station's systems on her portable toolkit. Corvax died protecting this discovery. I won't let them turn it into a weapon. She began connecting her equipment to the station's control network. Arya, I need complete access to all systems. Can you trust me? Corvax programmed me to trust your judgment above all others, Arya replied. What do you need? Elena's fingers flew over her toolkit's interface, calling up schematics she'd studied during the journey to the station. First, I need to understand this place better. The station's interior dimensions don't match its exterior appearance. How is that possible? Corvax incorporated quantum spatial folding into the station's design, Arya explained. The same principles that allow the quantum core to create tunnels through space-time can also expand interior space within a confined external structure. Elena's eyes widened as understanding dawned. The entire station is built around quantum technology, not just the core, but everything. She began typing commands rapidly. Arya, can you show me the quantum field distribution throughout the station? A 3-dimensional map appeared in the air before them, showing energy flows that moved through the station like a circulatory system. Alina studied the patterns, her engineer's mind beginning to see possibilities that the GMC clearly hadn't anticipated. They think this is just a mining station with a hidden laboratory, Alina murmured. They have no idea that the entire facility is one integrated quantum system. Her toolkit chimed with an incoming message from Earth. Elena's heart lifted as she saw Dr. Yuki Tanaka's face appear on the screen. Yuki had been her roommate in engineering school and was now one of Earth's leading quantum physicists. Alina, Yuki's voice carried across the vast distance with barely a delay. I got your emergency message about the quantum core. The mathematics you sent are incredible, but are you sure this is real? Very sure, Alina replied grimly, and I'm about to test it in ways Corvax never intended. Yuki, I'm sending you the complete station schematics. I need you to help me understand what I can do with a quantum field that encompasses an entire asteroid. Asterisk Yuki's expression grew serious as she reviewed the data. Alina, this is beyond anything we've theorized on Earth. If these readings are accurate, you're sitting inside what amounts to a localized space-time manipulation device. The applications could be limitless, but so could the dangers. The GMC is giving me 3 more minutes to surrender, Alina said. I need immediate answers. Can I use the quantum field defensively? Theoretically, yes, Yuki replied, her voice tight with concentration. If you could modulate the field harmonics, you might be able to create localized distortions around the station. Think of it as bending space to redirect incoming attacks. Elena's toolkit began receiving compressed data files from Yuki, containing theoretical models and equations. Arya, can your systems process quantum field modulations in real time? Yes, Arya replied, but Elena, such modifications could destabilize the entire station. We would essentially be turning Ember's Edge into an experimental weapon. Not a weapon, Elena corrected, her hands moving over the controls with growing confidence. A shield. There's a difference. Through the viewport, she could see the GMC ships moving into boarding positions. Smaller assault craft were deploying from the cruiser bays, loaded with corporate security forces who would show no mercy once they boarded the station. Elena made her decision. Arya, route all available power to the quantum field generators. I'm going to attempt controlled space-time distortion around the station's perimeter. Elena, this is extremely dangerous, Arya warned. If the field collapses, it could create a localized black hole. Then we better make sure it doesn't collapse, Elena replied, beginning the activation sequence. Yuki, are you getting our telemetry? Reading. Clearly. Yuki's voice came through the com with growing excitement. Elena, what you're attempting is theoretically sound, but no one has ever tried quantum field manipulation on this scale. Good thing I've always liked being the first to try impossible things. Elena muttered, watching as power levels throughout the station climbed toward critical thresholds. The first GMC assault craft reached the station's docking bay just as Elena engaged the quantum field. Reality seemed to hiccup around Ember's Edge, space bending and twisting in ways that hurt to look at directly. The assault craft suddenly found itself approaching what appeared to be empty space, even though its sensors insisted the station was directly ahead. Commander Drax's voice exploded over the com channel. What kind of trick is this? Our sensors show the station, but visually there's nothing there. Elena allowed herself a small smile. It's called human ingenuity, Commander, something your corporate manual probably doesn't cover. But her triumph was short-lived. The GMC ships began firing blindly into the distorted space around the station's actual location. Most of their shots passed harmlessly through twisted space-time, but a few lucky hits were beginning to overload the quantum field generators. Elena, Arya said urgently, the field is becoming unstable. Each impact creates harmonic resonances that I'm having difficulty compensating for. Elena watched the power readings spike dangerously high. The quantum field was working, but it wouldn't hold indefinitely against sustained bombardment. She needed a more permanent solution. Yuki, she called out, what happens if I extend the quantum field beyond the station? Can I create a larger distortion? Possible, but incredibly risky, Yuki replied. You'd be manipulating space-time across several cubic kilometers. The power requirements alone could overload your systems. Elena studied the quantum core readings. Korvax's device was operating at only 30% capacity, designed for safety and stability rather than maximum output. But Elena had learned long ago that safety margins existed to be exceeded when necessary. Arya, can you increase quantum core output to full capacity? Yes, but Elena, Korvax specifically warned against operating the core above 50%. The consequences are unknown. The consequences of surrender are very well known, Elena replied grimly. Do it. As the quantum core spun up to full power, Elena felt the station around her come alive in ways she'd never experienced. The walls seemed to pulse with energy, and she could sense the massive asteroid that housed the facility responding to the quantum field like a living thing. Then inspiration struck. Arya, The asteroid itself has crystalline matrices similar to the quantum core, doesn't it? That's why Korvax built the station here, correct? The entire asteroid is riddled with quantum reactive crystals. Korvax chose this location specifically. For that reason, Elena's hands flew over her controls as she implemented a plan that even she thought might be insane. Instead of just creating a defensive field around the station, she began extending the quantum distortion throughout the entire asteroid, turning the whole massive rock into a single, integrated quantum system. The effect was spectacular and terrifying. The asteroid began to phase in and out of normal space-time, becoming translucent one moment and solid the next. The GMC ships found themselves firing at a target that kept shifting between dimensions, their weapons passing harmlessly through quantum-distorted space. Impossible. Commander Drax's voice carried a note of panic. No known technology can create space-time distortions on this scale. Elena keyed the "come" with growing confidence. You're right, Commander. No known corporate technology can do this. But you made one critical mistake. You underestimated human creativity and an alien engineer's love for his adopted daughter. But even as she spoke, Elena could see warnings flashing across her displays. The quantum field was consuming enormous amounts of energy, and the station's power systems were beginning to strain under the load. She had created an impenetrable defense, but she couldn't maintain it indefinitely. Elena, Yuki's voice came. Through the "come," I'm reading massive quantum fluctuations from your position. Whatever you're doing, it's creating ripple effects across local space-time. Ships within a light-year radius are reporting navigation anomalies. Elena realized she had created something far more significant than a simple defensive measure. The quantum field was demonstrating the true potential of Korvax's discovery, showing how quantum technology could reshape the very fabric of space itself. Arya, she said, a new plan forming in her mind. Can you create a stable quantum tunnel from our location to Earth space? Theoretically possible, given our current power output, Arya replied. But Elena, creating a tunnel across such a vast distance would require precise calculations and perfect field stability. Then let's give the GMC a demonstration they'll never forget, Elena said, beginning the complex calculations needed for long-range quantum tunneling. As the tunnel formed, Elena sent a broad-spectrum transmission to every ship in the sector, including the GMC fleet. This is Elena Vasquez of Ember's Edge Station. I'm about to demonstrate why Korvax Thane's quantum technology must remain free and available to all species, not locked away in corporate vaults. The quantum tunnel opened like a flower made of twisted light and impossible geometries. Through it, Elena could see Earth's orbital shipyards, where she had been working just days earlier. The tunnel was stable, beautiful, and represented everything that space travel could become. One ship could cross from the Helios belt to Earth in minutes instead of months, Elena announced. Imagine exploration fleets reaching distant galaxies, rescue operations that could save lives across impossible distances, trade and communication that could unite all species under one stellar community. Commander Drax's voice was quiet when he finally responded. Ms. Vasquez, the Galactic Mining Consortium is prepared to make you a very generous offer for exclusive rights to this technology. Counter-offer, Commander, Elena replied. The technology stays free and open, available to all species for peaceful purposes. In return, I don't mention to the Interstellar Registry how the GMC murdered my stepfather to steal his research. Elena closed the quantum tunnel and began powering down the massive field distortions around the asteroid. As normal space reasserted itself, Ember's Edge station became visible again, looking exactly as it had before, except for the subtle sense that it now existed slightly outside normal reality. The GMC ships held their positions for several long minutes. Alina could imagine the frantic communications between Commander Drac and his corporate superiors, trying to decide whether to retreat or risk open conflict with someone who had just demonstrated the ability to manipulate space-time itself. Finally, Drac's voice returned to the COM channel. "This isn't over, Ms. Vasquez. The GMC has a long memory." "So do I, Commander," Alina replied. "And I have all the time in the world to make sure Korvax's vision becomes reality." As the corporate fleet withdrew, Alina slumped back in her chair, exhaustion finally catching up with her. She had saved the station and protected the quantum technology, but she knew this was only the beginning. "Arya," she said wearily, "can you help me establish communication with the Interstellar Registry? I think it's time to make Korvax's discovery official on terms that honor his memory." "Of course," Alina Arya replied, and Alina detected something that sounded remarkably like pride in the AI's voice. "I believe Korvax would be very pleased with your solution. You found a way to protect his discovery while sharing its benefits with everyone." Alina smiled, looking out at the stars that no longer seemed so distant or unreachable. He always said humans had a gift for seeing possibilities where others saw only problems. I guess he was right. As Alina began composing messages to scientific institutions, governments, and exploration organizations across known space, she felt Korvax's presence in the gentle hum of the quantum core and the warm efficiency of the station around her. She had inherited more than just a mining facility. She had inherited a legacy of hope and the responsibility to ensure that the wonders of the universe remained available to all who sought them with open hearts and curious minds. The quantum inheritance had become humanity's gift to the galaxy, and Alina Vasquez, engineer and daughter, had made sure it would remain free forever. Asterisk,